In a quiet corner of the garden, where wild daisies, dandelions, and clover grew, lived a little fly named Matilda. She wasn't just any fly. Her wings shimmered like a rainbow, her eyes sparkled like tiny beads, and most of all, she had an unquenchable curiosity. Matilda wanted to know everything. Why is the sky blue? Where do cats disappear to at night? How is soup made? And what does an ant feel when it steps on a pine needle? One morning, when the dew still sparkled on the grass, Matilda woke up with a grand plan. "Today I'll learn everything about people," she said, and set off toward the nearby cottage. She peeked through the kitchen window. A woman in an apron was stirring something in a bowl. The sweet smell drifting out reminded Matilda of apples and cinnamon. "I have to get closer," Matilda decided, and buzzed inside. She landed right on the edge of the bowl. At that moment, the woman tossed in a handful of blueberries. One of them bounced off and smacked Matilda. The little fly tumbled onto the table, all sticky and messy. "Yuck! I wasn't expecting this," she grumbled. But the woman just laughed and gently blew her back out the window. That didn't stop her. She flew on and peeked into the next room, where an old man sat in a chair reading a newspaper. What's that? Paper covered with strange marks. Maybe secret symbols, Matilda wondered. She perched right on the page, trying to make sense of the letters. But the man noticed her and waved his hand. "Off you go, little reader," he chuckled, and Matilda had to fly outside again. Not far away, she spotted the open doors of a stable. Inside stood a brown calf, nosing curiously at a pile of hay. "I've never seen such a creature." Matilda buzzed excitedly and landed on its nose, but the calf gave such a mighty sneeze that Matilda somersaulted through the air and landed in a heap of straw. As she shook herself off, she heard children laughing. She turned and saw 3 siblings building a little house from sticks. "That looks interesting. What are they doing? How do they play?" She flew closer and settled on a twig, watching as the children stacked branches, laid leaves on top, and chatted together. Their voices sounded so different from the kitchen, gentle and playful. The children didn't even notice her. "Maybe I could stay here," thought Matilda, but after a while it grew a little dull. The children paid her no attention, and she couldn't quite understand what the game was about anyway. Then she felt a soft breeze from the meadow and caught a familiar scent. Dandelions! And so she returned to where she had started. New blossoms had opened on the meadow, the bumblebees were humming their deep songs, and everything was calm. Matilda landed on a dandelion and looked around. "There are so many things to discover, but I'll learn the most when I listen, not when I get in the way." From then on, she was just as curious, but a little wiser too. She explored the world quietly, patiently, and with joy in every new discovery. And sometimes, when she heard human laughter in the distance, she simply smiled to herself and stayed among the dandelions, where it was safe and sweet-smelling. Thank you for listening to my story. Over the weekend, bring along your older brother or your mom. They'll have a tale of their own waiting for them. Have a wonderful day.